What to do when your mom cooks for you? So number one, you want to take your own portion. In my case, where when I was uh, as like every time I eat, like even right now, like even like later, my mom would be the one that would take the portion for me, because I'm like probably doing this, doing that, and she would be like, she doesn't want to waste time, so she would be the one that basically takes the portion for me. And then from now on, I actually tell her that I'm gonna get the portion myself, right? Because we know about the nutrition and then the portion and all that like more than our moms. Or of course we can like educate her, but basically, first you want to take your own portion. You want to know the visual cues. You want to know the portion by visual cues. Basically, if it's like protein, right? You want to have like this, like from your palm. This is the protein that you want to. The protein sort of like size, or maybe like double of your palm. Each it's like sitting each meal, and then for the carbs, you want to do like a whole fist, right? A whole fist. You can do like rice or fruits or anything you want to have. And also for the fats, you want to do like two thumbs. That's like the most basic one, right? If you focus on that already, it's gonna get you to like 1% of like health or all around the world, because most people don't know how to like have like portions. You know what I mean? So if you know your portions, then you're good. Uh, there's more in depth to these things, which I'm gonna talk about in a later video. But basically, the just like at a broad level, you want to focus on your portion. You want to know your portion. You want to search it up, how much protein you need to have and all. Now you don't want to focus on like the calories, right? You don't want to focus on how much calories you're eating. You don't want to measure like a like a nerd. You don't want to measure like a nerd, right? Measure in like my fitness pal or whatever, right? You don't want to do all those stuff, because we're gonna live the natural way. We want to live like the primal sort of like spiritual way of um, knowing our body. We want to learn our body. We want to know when our hunger level, the ghrelin, the hormone, like goes up, and we want to fulfill the hunger. You want to be satiated. You want to be satisfied, and you want to fulfill satiety by eating food, eating this, eating that. So we don't want to focus on the calories, but we want to focus on a nutrient quality, on a dietary quality, in order for us to actually optimize as the human, for our human body. So the first is basically to take your own portion. Second is to replace the seed oils with the good ones. Now, most of the food that your mom probably makes is with seed oils. Now, you can, here's like a tip you can do, right? You can slowly educate your mom on like, or like the whole family on like these healthy foods. If your mom not already know, then you can like educate, and both of you can learn together, and both of you can like have this like end goal of like eating very nutritious food. And slowly, even though your mom will think if, let's say, if you have a sibling, if you have a sister or something, like me, I have like a younger sister. My mom would always make like the foods that will make my sister happy, and probably those foods are like the fun foods, you know what I mean? It's like decently healthy, but it's not that healthy. That's why you want to kind of educate your mom. Probably you want to replace, just tell your mom, like, Mom, what if, we replace the seed oil, the sunflower seed or canola oil or any of those like bad oils, with the good one. Let's say the coconut oil, right? Or olive oil. Even though olive oil is bad when you oxidize it, right? You can search it up. But I think the best one is either like beef fat, ghee, and or coconut oil. Right now, I don't have ghee or any like butter, the fat. I only have coconut oil, which I use like until now. Like we bought, although it's like more expensive, but the oil itself, if we can get rid of the seed oil, it's very very healthy for us, because then we can boost our testosterone. We can um, increase like energy levels, basically all those like benefits that you already know. Now, removing the seed oils, right? The seed oils is the one that makes us fat from the SAD diet, which is the standard American diet. There's a bunch of seed oils from that, like McDonald's and junk food and all of that. And that's why we basically are fat. It's because one of the reasons because of the processed food which is made by the seed oils. Same goes like if you go out to the restaurant. If it's possible that you can ask to replace the seed oil with like coconut oil if they have, then that would be very very great, right? That would be like, I'm gonna talk about it in another video as well, like how to not feel guilty when you eat out, you know, when you're trying to focus on your body, building the fitness inside of you, being the primal way, living naturally, living like the gorilla, like the Tarzan sort of like you know, vibe and everything. You want to be strong. Then I'm gonna talk about it in like the other videos and stuff. So number one is take your own portion. Number two is replace the seed oil with the good ones like coconut oil. Number three is prioritize the protein first, right? Whenever you see your mom like makes a bunch of food in in the dinner table, basically, you wanna see, okay, which one has more protein, right? Okay, this one have protein. Okay, then we're gonna take a whole bunch of the chicken. We're not gonna take the rice as much, but because perhaps like I'm trying to lose fat, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm gonna lose like fat mass, so I wanna take the carbs, like just like little carbs, you know, but I'm gonna take a bunch of the protein because I want to prioritize the protein in order for me to not get hungry later, so I won't like start binge eating or something, right? So I'm gonna take protein first so I feel full, and then I'm gonna start eating the rice. Or maybe if you can, the best thing that you can do, right? Like what I also like going to preach, and what I love about this diet, which is the animal-based diet, is basically the diet where you can like eat the steak first, like eat the beef first, the protein first, and then you can move on to the carbs, and then you can move on to the fat. Well, fat is eaten with the protein as well, but you can eat the protein first and then the carbs. So you know when your hunger basically is like your body's telling you enough, but the carbs is, you have this like what is it? Different appetite. So you want to fulfill your protein appetite first, and then you want to fulfill your carbs appetite. Now, for most dishes where you use like rice, you know, seafood and all of that, you cannot really understand your body's appetite, you know, level, if it's like already fulfilled or not, because it's like mixed and stuff, right? But of course, if you still like eat rice, I still eat rice, and I still eat like other things that I mix them together and like put it in my mouth with a spoon, then it's gonna be harder for me as well. But I cannot change it right now because of, you know, the whole family kind of like diet and everything. You cannot really change it. But if you can, if you're like living alone, let's say, you actually can do anything you want, and you can buy just the protein, like let's say like the red meat, the beef itself, because of like a lot of like vitamins in it, um, vitamin until like vitamin B12, right? Very very important. Red meat. Yeah, just for a reminder, red meat is the best protein ever existed, right? Red meat, especially if it's grass fed. If the red meat is grass fed, that means the cow is eating, instead of like pasteurized, eating like the wheats and stuff, the cows are eating grass, which are very very unhealthy, and it's been raised like out in nature and stuff. Very very healthy. So if you can eat that, then eat that, the red meat. Just cook it, you know, medium rare, and then you can have sort of like the fruits as well after you eat the steak, right? Or after you eat your ground beef, 80-20, the 80-20 fat, 20% fat. Or is it 20% fat or 80% just like normal, lean? Or is it like 80%? I think it's 80% lean and 20% fat, you know? So if you can get the ground beef, then you want to eat that. And then you can eat the fruits, and then you can eat the, what is it? If you want cheese, you can eat cheese. Basically, you know Paul Saladino, MD. I don't have any partnership with him, but I just love his diet because it matches sort of like my inner, my inner, my inner soul. Right? We're talking about spiritual, right? We're talking about the primal way. We're talking about the ancient way and stuff of how cavemen was like, how they were basically living, right? They would hunt, and they would get fruits from the trees, and they would get honey from the trees as well, the honeycomb and stuff. like real honey, they actually like eat it, you know, with the wax and everything. But of course, right now we don't have the facility, the whole forest right now. I'm not in the forest for me to get a like a honeycomb from the tree and climb there. Of course, if I can, I would, but I, you know. But yeah, you want to prioritize protein first. If you're mixing your food, if you're like a just like a typical dish, you know, like a fried rice or something, right? It's mixed with like beef. It's mixed with like vegetables and the rice itself, and it's okay then, you know. As long as you have a lot of those protein in it and just like minimize the carbs if you want to lose fat, then it's okay. But for me, I basically have this like proportional. Basically, I have good amount of like palm size, um, what is it, protein, and I have fist size carbs, and I have what is it, this size of like fats, and I eat that like 2 to 3 times a day. And I'm actually slowly gaining muscle because we want to do lean muscle, right? Slowly gaining lean muscle. If you're trying to bulk, you want to go on like the fattier side of the meat. But if you're trying to lose, you also want to get on the fattier side of the meat for to get the fats. But you also want to sometimes focus on the lean sort of the meat, like lean beef or like lean chicken. You know what I mean? So play around with it, see how it goes, see which one do you like. So prioritize the protein first. Like let's say if you have like curry or something, right? You want to remove the sauce of the curry as much as you can, and you want to eat the chicken itself. That's basically like sort of like an example that you can do. So take your own portion, replace seed oil foods, or seed oil with the good ones. Prioritize the protein first, and I just put that. That's it. But yeah, but basically, the last one I talk about like the mom thing again before. Remember when I talk about the you can educate sort of like you can slowly educate your mom about this. Both of you can learn about the nutritious food, so then you can, you know, transition slowly, shifting to like the more nutritious food, the more like no seed oils, no processed foods with like flour and all, no artificial sugar, which is like very bad, Coca-Cola and all of that in the fridge, and what else? No refined carbs, like the starchy heavy carbs like bread. I'm gonna just tell you, bro, it took me years. Right now I'm actually in a decent level where my mom actually understand, and she actually trying to learn like metabolism and all of that, and how the food is actually being processed in our body, and how we should actually focus into the nutrient quality, dietary quality, instead of like the calories in, calories out. Because she's also trying to like do like some body recomposition, right? Recomp. And she's been learning all of this. She's been going through the webinars and all to like learn about metabolism and stuff. And then since then, she's actually slowly trying to, you know, say ask me about like, oh, how do you do this? Like, what should I eat? How should I eat it? What ingredients should we have in the fridge and stuff for my sister as well. And after that, I actually start, you know, removing the seed oils. We use like completely coconut oil only. Seed oil we still use like sunflower, or Visio, yeah, sunflower oil. Sometimes, like not all the time, but most of the time we use coconut oil to cook things. Second, right? That's the about like the oil. The artificial sugar, we don't eat artificial sugar. We don't have it at home. Right now we do, is because of a lot of people. They, you know, outside like my cousins and stuff, they would like go out into like another country, bring in some sweets, and they would put it in our fridge for my sister, because my sister is like sweet tooth, you know, she likes sweet. And artificial sugar. And three, what did I talk about? Processed, right? Like something to do with like flour and stuff. Now we reduced it significantly. We used to make this like tempe mendoan, right? With like, although it's good, you know, it's like the culture. If you're like Indonesian and you're watching this, then tempe mendoan is very good, but it has the flour and everything, which really bad for you. Now we're starting to like remove that and all those like fried foods, basically, that is like deep fried in the seed oil. Oh my god, now eating those stuff actually makes me want to throw up, man. Like I cannot eat like those oily fried foods, you know, with flour in it and stuff. Like fried chicken. As much as I like chicken, and yeah, I would eat it like sometimes, you know what I mean, if it's like around friends and stuff. But if I'm eating it alone, even with the family and stuff, or with my cousins, I would still have this. I would still feel nauseated, right? Because my body is like already adapted to like the healthy sort of like food. The more like people say bland foods, you know, boring foods, like yeah, just like a grilled chicken, you know, which is really really good, way better than fried chicken. But that's basically how you do it. And then now we're removing refined carbs instead of those like white bread. We actually get the best bread. The healthiest bread is fermented, right? Which is the sourdough bread. We have like the organic sourdough bread, and we actually got that. Although I don't want to eat bread, but my mom still loves bread, and I told her like which bread should we get, and I told her sourdough. So she did. She actually did brought sourdough bread from the grocery and stuff. So after that, she bought the sourdough bread. So that's for like the refined carbs. So what did I have mentioned? Process. I think I mentioned all, right? Seed oils, coconut oil, artificial sugar gone. Um, what is it? Artificial sugar gone. Processed foods. Um, yeah, gone. What else? Mm, processed foods. And what's the last one, man? I keep on forgetting. Refined carbs. Yeah, sourdough. Yep. Basically, that's what I want to talk about in this video. First, you wanna, if I was to summarize again, take your own portion, replace seed oil with good ones, prioritize protein first, solely educate your mom so you can both learn and eat nutritious food in the long term. So that's it for this video. Goodbye.